Aku takutnya pas record nggak.
1, 2.
Today, I want to give a presentation about morphology, specifically for Tidore language. Okay, so next. Okay, so in today's presentation, here are the table of contents. In the first part, I'm going to talk about the definition of morphology. And the second part, I will talk about morphemes. The third part, I would talk about affixes. And the last one, I'm going to talk about the main topic to it. Next. Okay, so for the first one, we're going to talk about morphology. So what is morphology? Morphology is the study of words. Morphemes are the minimal units of words that have a meaning and cannot subdivide it further. So that is actually the smallest. Next. Okay, so I just mentioned about morphemes before. Now I'm going to talk about morphemes specifically in the second part. In the second part, I'm going to talk about the types and the examples of morphemes. So there are two main types of morphemes, free and bound. Free morpheme can another morphemes. An example of a free morpheme is bad, and an example of bound morpheme is li. It is bound because although it has meaning, it cannot stand alone. It must be attached to another morpheme to produce a word. To make it more clear, I would break it down. So here you can see there are three parts. Part one, free morpheme, bad. The second part is badly, which is the word. The word is the combination of free morpheme and bound morpheme. So from bad and li becomes badly. Next. Okay, so talking about words, there are two groups, lexical or content and function or grammatical words. Lexical words are called open class words and include nouns, verbs, adjectives, and verbs. Words or closed class words are conjunction, preposition, articles, and pronouns. And new words cannot be or are very rarely added to this class. Next. Okay, so now we are going to the third part, which is affixes. So as you see, affixes are often the bound morpheme. This group includes prefixes, suffixes, infixes, and another morpheme. Suffixes are added to the end, infixes are inserted into other morphemes, and circumfixes are attached to another morpheme at the beginning and the end. Following are examples of each of this. So you can see from the next part, which is the example of what I have explained before. Prefix, re, added to do produces redo. Suffix, or, added to edit produce editor. Infix, produce fumikas, which means to be strong in Bontoc language. And then circumfix, GE and T to liep, which means loft, and produces geliebt, which means loft in German. Next. Okay, so we are going to the last part, which is the morphology of Tidore language. In this part, I'm going to talk about the definition of Tidore language, and then next. Okay, so what is Tidore language? Tidore language is a local language that is spoken by the natives of Tidore Island in North Maluku. Those are my people, and yeah, I'm one of them. I'm the native speaker of Tidore language. Okay, next. Morphology of Tidore language. Okay. Words use infix, not prefix or suffix. This is what I see in general. So you hardly find prefix or suffix in Tidore language words. Instead, you will find a lot of infix, which is the additional that is put in the middle or inserted in a word. So for example, let's see the example. Example 1, there is word gia, which means hands, and raga, fingers. Raga cannot stand by itself. So even the meaning is fingers, but you cannot say raga when you refer to fingers because people would not understand. Instead, you have to, the word raga should be attached to something else to have a specific meaning. And then the next one, gia maraga, which is the combination of gia and raga with the infix in the middle, which is ma. So when you say gia maraga, it would mean the fingers of foot. Yohu is foot, raga is fingers. Again, cannot stand alone. So you have to put infix in the middle, which is ma, so that it can have the clear meaning. Okay, and then example 2, there is lao, which means eyes, and gogo, which means hair, but not for head. And then with M as the infix, it becomes lao magogo, which means eyebrows. Okay, and the next. Much everyone. So that is all from my presentation about the morphology of Tidore language. Thank you so much for paying attention. And if you guys have any question, please ask. Thank you so much and bye-bye.